Why would you work with, oh, the solver says he wants to bluff 44 combos in this spot. Well, the solver does not consider that we're playing for fucking tens of thousands of dollars.
Let's crush.
All right, this video, I'm going to be sharing my system for bluff catching. Yes, I have a system and I've never shared this before. So listen carefully. All right, so when it comes to bluff catching, what most people do, they put it in a solver, they think about all the potential bluffs our opponent can have, and then they evaluate whether they have a call or not. Well, I'm doing it differently. So now imagine a spot where you open raise, you face a 3-bet, 100 big blinds, and then bet all in. You have a bluff catcher, right? We hate those moments because once we call a 3-bet, once we call a flop in tournament, we usually have a very strong hand, and we hate folding on the river. So now we go to our friends, we post it in a forum, we put it in a solver, and then we see, oh, you can have all these potential bluffs, so it's actually a legitimate bluff catcher, and we end up calling, but we lose, as always. How likely it is that our opponent is bluffing? So the way I'm doing it is, in this particular spot, I'm trying to rate the likelihood of my opponents bluffing on average. So there's a system from 0 to 10. 0 means they're never bluffing this spot. They always have value. Up to 10, they are always bluffing this spot with their bluffing hands. So let's imagine the spot would be 8-7 and there's 10-9 on the board as a potential busted straight draw. How likely it is that in a 3-bet pot with so many big blinds at stake, how likely it is that he would be bluffing all these combos. So is he bluffing 10-9 100% of the time or 5% of the time? So in this particular example, I would rate it pretty low. And you don't need to be accurate. It can just be 20 or 30%, right? And in another spot where it's just blind versus blind, where range is incredibly wide, the pot is not so big, maybe only 10 big blinds, he bets 6 big blinds, similar board, could be busted straight draw. How likely it is that they're bluffing there? Well, probably like 70-80%. And this is how I approach it. And you should find a good mix between GTO and exploitative poker. GTO helps you to understand and to learn poker, but at the end of the day, you need to understand the why behind certain actions, and you want to play a very exploitative game, because at the end of the day, GTO means that we play against an optimum opponent, which is not the case. So exploiting your opponents will make you way more money, and you need to be able to identify in which spots your opponents are going to be bluffing more often, and in certain spots you just simply don't know. And that's okay. I also don't know how likely is someone is bluffing in certain spots. I'm just lost, and that's totally okay. But in a lot of spots, at least, you know that, wow, this is actually a spot people barely bluff. But try to incorporate that system from 0 to 10. Give him a 20% chance of bluffing. So instead of 20 combos that he potentially could bluff with, it's only 4 combos. And then on the flip side, if it's a blind versus blind spot or another spot where it's actually not so hard to bluff, give it an 80 or 90% likelihood with all the combos he could be bluffing. So if there are potentially 50 reasonable bluffs he could have, if it's somewhat according to theory, then he might be bluffing with 35, 40 combos. And then you find the amount of value combos he can have. I don't want to go too much into detail. If you don't know anything around combos, of course, then you need to put some additional work and learn that stuff. This is for you if you already know how to evaluate a spot when it comes to bluff catching. This is literally how I do it. So don't just take a fucking solver and jerk off to it and be happy that you made a GTO call. No, because every single spot is different and people have a certain ability to either execute a bluff or to shy away from it. Of course, the deeper the stages, you will very likely, or it's very unlikely that someone pulls off big bluffs in the later stages of the tournament. You just see it way less. So why would you work with, oh, the solver says he wants to bluff 44 combos in this spot. Well, the solver does not consider that we're playing for fucking tens of thousands of dollars, and he's very likely not bluffing 44, probably just 17 combos, and then your bluff catcher becomes incredible minus EV. So this is how I approach it. Again, it's not 100% accurate, but it just keeps my mindset in a way where I will always consider the psychological side of things in poker as well, that we're human beings, we have emotions. In certain spots people will be a little tighter, shy away from making big bluffs, and that's just how it is. I hope this has helped you guys, and remember, we have a Discord channel. See you guys tomorrow. In this Discord channel you can ask questions, update if you want to post your challenge. Also, we're currently running the Black Friday sale with massive discount on Tournament Masterclass, 50% off on the mindset course if you just want to buy the mindset course itself. And if you sign up for the Tournament Masterclass, you get the discount plus the mindset course for free. So that's some pretty insane value there. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another short, quick video. And for this video, as a homework, as a tip, as a practical tip, is to be very aware in-game and try to incorporate that system. And afterwards, try to rate it. Just really give it a rating from 0 to 10, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and share that with your friends. Just ask them, what do you think, how likely it is to be bluffing in this spot? This will facilitate your way of maneuvering yourself through these spots so much and not just relying on some GTO frequencies. All right, I'm out. See you guys tomorrow.